Can I just say that Lupe went to the Ventura concert yesterday?
Yes.
And I'm so glad that Bad Bunny didn't show up.
Oh my God, you're so
because
terrible.
you know how they have that song together now.
Yes.
I'm so happy he didn't go. I was honestly going to like be in a rage.
Why? Because she would see him and you wouldn't?
Yes.
Have you seen him yet?
In concert, no, I haven't.
Oh
my God, can we just talk about like how one time my friends were like, "You want to go to Volcan?" You know what Volcan
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like in the ghetto. He was literally gonna play there for like $15.
Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
No shit.
He did.
This
He
was
performed
before
there,
he was
obviously.
like whatever.
And now you just think about. I'm not even gonna say how much I spent.
Yeah.
Not $15.
Oh,
15
man.
times like 80.
You could have been that. You could have been that person that when they first hear the person, you're like, I heard of him first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Those bragging rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, what's going on? As you guys heard already, our voices. I am George, and this is
Susie.
And this here together is the I Know Right
podcast.
Yes. All right, guys. So we are back after 2 weeks. We don't know yet, right? Because of Bobby, right? We had a podcast with Bobby. We uploaded two episodes a little later, so back to back. So pay attention to those. And we had an episode with our friend Bobby,
Yes.
and we had a little technical issues, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with that right now.
Yeah. It was such a great podcast too. So if we can fix it and salvage it, that's what we'll do. If not, I would rather us do the whole thing, I think.
Yeah. So
But
we'll
like,
figure
how
it
do
out.
you recreate magic?
Yeah, so I tried, guys, but the audio just wasn't there. And but we'll figure it out. We'll see what's up. We'll get him back on, and we'll see what's up. He's a busy guy. He's awesome. So
awesome.
Yeah, but today we're gonna kind of shoot the shit. We kind of just hanging around. Susie got a couple of topics we want to talk about, but I actually got some couple of questions today. So I wanted to do some new things with Susie. Yeah, so I actually wanted. So there's this thing like overrated, underrated kind of thing that I saw from Gary Vee, and I was just thinking like, I wonder what that is. I wonder what, I was thinking like, man, you know what, we should do that with Susie. Learn a little bit more about Susie. Talk to her a little about that.
About me?
Yeah. So anyways,
That's not fair. I want to do it to you.
no, but anyways, so I came up with a couple of questions. So first, my first questions would be, I wanted to make this as difficult as possible so we could get deep down into it.
Ooh,
So
what the heck? It's
so-
like therapy.
So yeah, so okay, so one is not they're not like very like into personality, but like more like, oh, okay, so what would you do? So I don't know if if
Why
you're
are
okay
you
with this.
laughing?
So I don't know if you're okay
I'm
with this, but like
scared.
like I don't even know, like sleep with, kill, marry. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
I played that.
and I know she has 3 guys that she definitely love, and I know I can't remember the third guy. So maybe you can help me out with this, okay, Susie?
Okay.
So the one is Bad Bunny,
Okay.
and then the other guy I know is Gael something, right? And I can't remember the third guy.
Diego Luna.
Diego Luna. All right, so there you go. Sleep with, marry, kill. Who are you going with?
This is a very difficult question.
So wait, who was the last guy you said?
Diego Luna. He's
Diego
the one
Luna,
that
okay,
plays Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo in Narcos.
Okay.
But he's in he's like in the movie Terminal with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Gael Garcia Bernal. So recently, and it's funny because this kind of plays into what we're talking about today. Gael Garcia Bernal is in a lot of movies on this list I made for the gym on movies they should watch leading up to Hispanic Heritage Month and Mexican Independence Day. Because like I don't have enough to do. I made this list and also put in chronological order. Diego Luna's in some of the movies too, and he's in a lot of great movies, like Mexican movies, but he made the dive to Hollywood too early, I feel like. But it's worked out for him, I feel like. But anyways, Gael, he's just so special. I don't even know how to say it, okay? Like, he's so special. And he is so smart, and I don't know. And Bad Bunny, we know, like, he is the trending guy.
Right.
I really also like that he is, like, this new type of man. Right? Like, do you keep up with, like, Harry Styles?
Yes, a little bit. Well,
So,
I keep up with like if he's in an article. If he
Right.
comes out,
So like a lot of people, I'm not a big Harry Styles person because like my kids like Harry Styles. Like I took them to watch One Direction. Okay. By the way, $600 a piece. Those tickets to One Direction.
And both of them went.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and myself. Okay.
So
still
you do the
cheaper.
math.
Still cheaper than what I did for Bad Bunny for one ticket. But anyhow. So that's why I don't like physically like him, but he's a new type of man. And I feel like a lot of people don't like Bad Bunny, but they represent like this new male, which is the male that's like almost like ambiguous. Like he's a feminist, right? And that's what I really love about him. But actually, so are Gael and Diego. Okay, so I'm peeling off the layers on my choices right now. And he's about like not caring about social constructs. Like he paints his nails, all that
Right,
stuff.
you're right,
I
you're right.
like that. You know, I like that he's brave enough to do that. Like he doesn't say he's gay, but like he has a fiance. He's dated women. Nothing's come out as far as him dating men or anything.
For
like
Bad
that.
Bunny, right?
Right.
Okay.
So he's just like okay with like wearing dresses and painting it. I find that really attractive. You know, I like that he's modern, and I feel like not that all men should be this way, but I like that the openness, right? So even with that, I'm gonna say kill Bad Bunny.
Oh, what? I did not see that coming. Holy shit.
I'm gonna say kill Bad Bunny, and I'm gonna say I would marry Gael and I would fuck Diego Luna.
Okay. Wow, I did not see that. I was seeing bang Bad Bunny, marry Gael, and sleep with David.
Yeah, no. So
Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. It's kill David. Diego. Yeah, Diego. Sorry.
No. Have you seen Diego Luna in a tux? Okay, no. Super hot. But anyways, yeah. Kill Bad Bunny. I feel terrible.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. Wow, guys,
terrible,
you heard it here first.
But also, like, I have loyalty, and I have liked since I think it was the year 2000 where they both hit it big, Gael and Diego. It's been like 20 years. It's a 20-year crush, you know. It's a long time. I was 18. Do the math, everyone. I was 18 then, you know, like 17 probably when they like became famous. Like real formative years. Real formative years. So no, I like them more.
Nice. All right, cool. Awesome. So now we're gonna move on to the morbid part of the questions. So yeah. So if you guys notice it from our podcast, Susie likes being sad and like she likes being depressed. So we're gonna go on a dark path right here for the next two questions. So question number one. Well, this is not too bad of a question, but like, well, I guess so. But anyway, would you rather know when you die or how you died?
Oh my God, this is terrible. This is hard. This is a hard question.
Yeah, that's
what would
hard.
be your choice?
This is not about me. This is about you.
But what would you choose?
I think I would choose how I die.
Yeah, I think that knowing would be too much responsibility on me. I would feel like, I have, like, I already put a lot of pressure on myself. So I would be like, I need to get all this stuff done before this day or whatever. Like, let's say it's, I don't know, 48 years from now or something like that. I would be like, I have to get this done, this done, this done, this done. And include fun in there, you know? Like, I would feel a lot of pressure. But, like, knowing how you die is so, I would think, like, let's say it said, like, I'd be so blessed, but I died in my sleep. Every time I would go to sleep, I'd be like, oh my God, is tonight the night?
Right. So what would you choose then?
I would still choose knowing how I died.
Because, like, for instance, like, what if it's like a car crash? Every time I fucking drive, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
I always think that that's how I died.
That's how I think I died too. I think we talked about that too before. Yeah. Multiple times.
We have talked about that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of ways that I think I'm going to die. So, car crash. Not that I drive unsafe, but I do drive. Okay. I don't drive fast all the time. I'm going to tell you guys. I drive 40 miles per hour all the time.
In a 10.
Whether I'm in a 10 or I'm on the highway.
At least it's consistent.
I drive 40 miles per hour. If it's 75, I'm driving 40 miles per hour.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
43. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not driving. So to me, it's like, I feel like that's plausible, right? I also feel that I stress myself so much. I'm like prone to migraines. I think like I'll have like a stroke.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Right? Don't you feel that's possible?
Yeah,
right?
very possible.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. You know what? I think now thinking about it, okay, so I'm still going to stick with my how to die, but I feel like now thinking about it, like at least that gives you time, like you know what I mean? Because, okay, so for instance, let's say, okay, if it's a week, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have, you know what? I'm quitting my job. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. You know what I mean? I'm leaving all this. I'm going to go travel.
Look at my face and how much I can't handle that.
You really?
Yeah.
Like even if it's at 48 years, you're like, oh, you know what? 48 years, give me 10 years to build this so I can, provide everything I can for my daughter and Stephanie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go out and do whatever else we need to do. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like maybe the time one might be a little bit better, Mm-hmm. So that now that I'm thinking about it, I think, man, that might be even better, because let's say 20 years, I can plan accordingly and be more like, okay, this is it. I can tell my daughter, hey, I'm about to die at this day. You know, I'm gonna be.
You would tell her?
Yeah, she has to be ready. You know what? I'm very. Death is on the table, and this is probably the biggest motivator ever. You know what I mean?
I don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't want to die neither, but you know, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
And you need to have that like there in front of your face and be like, okay, death is here. Let me think about that. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to be a fat ass forever? You know what I mean? So,
Right,
do I really want to spend my life with a woman that I don't love? You know, or do I, you know, shit like that? You know? So it's death is like the best motivator for me, at least.
Oof.
So yeah,
I think that, like, I don't know, like, when I correlate death with so much pain, physical and emotional, that I don't think that I would want to know.
Yeah, it's scary.
Like,
it's scary.
I don't think that I would want to know the when, just because I would be like kind of preemptively psyching myself up for like pain, or you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. So I think I'm gonna stick with how.
Yeah,
instead of knowing when.
So I think I'm switching mine. I'm switching mine to time.
Okay.
When.
You're brave.
Yeah. So when I die, that's what I'm gonna be. Okay. So now we're going back to another one. So another question that I thought of. So Susie is a very, very huge on I don't know. It's not criminology. It's crime.
Yeah.
Like crime stuff. Is it like so? Like mass murderers and stuff like that. So
yes, for sure. Cult leaders,
so being a little more on the dark side today. Sorry guys, sorry about this. So we're gonna lighten it up later on in the podcast. But
or will we?
Yeah. So if you were to go down as a victim of one of the people in any of murderers, who would be you'd want to be like,
okay,
oh, that was my guy.
Okay, hold on. This is a very good question, actually, George. So, okay, is it a serial killer?
Okay.
Or is it a cult leader, or is it like a mass murderer? They're all different.
Oh man, come on. Now I don't know. So like anybody in those, would it be too hard to be like anybody in those realms? Like okay, so you like listening to the last podcast on the left, right?
Yes.
So they cover anybody and
all
everybody, right? So
all
like anybody on their list. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
who would I be killed by? Like that would
like Susie Casher was killed by this guy.
Like that they would target me and then be like, okay.
No, not that guy's targeting you, but like you would be like not I guess honored, but be like, oh, this is why I'm on. Like, got it. Like I don't want to be on this guy's list. You know what I mean?
I'd prefer to get killed by this person than all the other people.
Well, not because he's gentler or because he does it nicely, but because you know what, I want to be on his list. You know what I mean, or something like that. I guess you know what I mean. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, it
you know
totally
what I mean?
makes sense.
Like if I lost to a football team, I would rather lose to Tom Brady's football team because he's the greatest ever. You know what I mean?
Okay. This is a very good question. I'm going to take this so sad. Okay. I'm going to take this so sad. Oh, I didn't turn it off. Okay. So I'm actually listening to another podcast about this before. And actually the last podcast on the left has not addressed this yet. And there are a lot of great choices here. Okay. I feel like I am a person that would get targeted by a cult leader because I feel like I like you can convince me of stuff, you know, like I'm an easy sale. Okay. So someone like, I mean, that's how I ended up in CrossFit, no lie. You know what I mean? But let's say someone like Jim Jones, like I talk about Jim Jones all the time. Like he, as a mass murderer, like he made everyone commit suicide. Like he didn't even do the dirty work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
crazy.
Someone like him, or, you know, getting killed by like a serial killer, like for example, or like a mass murderer, like, you know, at like a club or something like that. Like, but I'm going to choose a serial killer that has not been found yet.
Oh, dang. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you're aware, but for the past, like I would say about 30 or so years, there have been these, killings, or overall some they have been finding bodies of dead women at the border of Tijuana.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's been like they'll find like graves. They find like mass graves of like 8 people, 20 people, all women that are snatched up into thin air, and they have not been found yet because there's a lot of mutiny and impunity in Mexico, where like the forces that be, the state police, the regular police, the narcs, and obviously these killers are all working together. So you don't really know who it is, but it's an organized group that's snatching up these women and killing them. And they know who to get because it's always women that like have that aren't they can go missing for a little bit and no one will know, like if they have work, or that sort of thing. So I think that if I'm gonna get killed and have that be like my legacy, it would be like the Tijuana killers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that his name? Is that what they're calling him?
They don't have a name because they're unsure if it's one person, 3 people, 10 people.
Okay. So there's like this there I mean I think I read it somewhere where they can tell though, right? Like the way they kill the people, or they're just crazy like.
No, they're pretty much killing the girls the same.
Okay. So
yeah.
Doesn't that kind of like explain like it's one killer or
No, because they know it's more than one because I just got something in my throat. They tie them up and they're fed. Like they'll find food in these girls' stomachs and stuff, meaning that they're kept alive for a few days.
Oh shit.
So I know it's pretty gross, but these women are dying. These girls are dying. They're anywhere from like they're teenage girls. So basically, Mexico's not a safe place for women, and it's like the world's not a safe place for women. Let's be honest. But like Mexico has a lot. They're known for their femicide. So guys killing their wives, girlfriends, mistresses, whatever. But these guys are literally snatching these girls up at the bus stop when they're getting food, like and yeah, it's been like 30 years. Yeah, I think it's been since the 90s, so about 30 years, and it's been like tens of thousands of girls.
That's
already.
crazy.
Yes.
What the hell?
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't see you going that way. I thought you would pick like a bigger name, like somebody like known,
well,
and somebody kind of like.
I know
because I feel like when you pick like somebody that's killed thousands and thousands, like you'll just get lost in the thousands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like these women deserve. I think that it's because they deserve the recognition and they deserve like someone fighting for them. I think that that's why I'm choosing them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's tough. It's tough. Like, yeah, it's a really gross display of what injustice is. It's so disgusting to me. And then you're just like stuck. And also, if like the parents like really go after like the police or the governor and like find out who killed my dad, like the parents end up getting killed.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that, even though that's really morbid. That was a really morbid question, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I just figured like, man, you have to have like a favorite, like. And I was just thinking like you have to have like a favorite serial killer or a favorite, you know what I mean? Like.
I think
you know
that they are my
like,
favorite because we don't know anything about them.
Right. Okay.
And it's continuous. And like, for example, even though like I think there's a stat that says in your lifetime you'll walk by like 6 serial killers in your life or something like that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Something like that. Which I find fascinating. For the most part, I feel safe. Like I feel safe like going to my car and I feel so safe, but at the same time I would never go to Tijuana.
Right.
By myself. Do you know what I mean? And I think that alone lets me know that they're the real like badasses in this whole scenario. But as far as favorite serial killers, my favorite ones honestly go after boys.
Oh really? Okay.
Like John Wayne Gacy, who's from the area, he went after kids, like teenage boys. Even like young adult males, like 21, 22, which I still consider kids.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And Jeffrey Dahmer, who was totally into young guys.
Interesting.
You know? So I wouldn't get killed by them. Maybe that's why they're my favorite.
All right, guys. So after that dark tunnel we were in.
That was, yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's just that those I was trying to, make them as Susie as possible. That's why I was like, okay, so.
The last podcast on the left, by the way, this is a plug. They have an awesome book on like all the serial killers and mass murderers and stuff like that they have covered. It's a big book. It's interesting. I have it at home. If anyone wants to borrow it, let me know. But it is an awesome book.
Oh, dude, I just thought about a Christmas gift now for my sister. I think she would like that.
She's into that stuff?
She loves that. Yeah, she loves that stuff. She was talking about making a podcast called Wine and Crime, but somebody already beat her to it.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, so like she wanted.
I love that idea. She could pick another name and totally do it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her. Like, you should just pick something else and just do it.
I know we're getting so off topic. I really follow a lot of things, a lot of content on TikTok where they give you a crime story in those 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, like even though I know them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, like let me hear this person talk about it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear like somebody's perspective on that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. So, all right, well, guys, it's been 20 minutes that we've been at the conversation on those quick questions, but we do have a topic for today. We do kind of have a subject, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're shooting the shit, even though we're kind of just hanging out today, we don't really have a solid subject, but it's been on our plate for a while, right?
It's been on our plate for a while, so I kind of brought it up a little bit when I said Gael is in a lot of the movies I have recommended for the gym to watch leading up to Mexican Independence Day and Hispanic Heritage Month because he's so talented. Okay, he's a producer and director. He just came out in that movie Old with M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay,
he's just did such a great job. But anyways. Enough about that. I want to talk about like our favorite movies that have impacted us. Maybe not even our favorite, but a movie that has like taught us a lesson, a movie that has made us appreciate life more, or maybe a movie that has just like we hated it so much, but you know, like such and such actor was so good in it that we now cannot stand watching them in something else. You know, like you always have those times, you know. So I want to talk a little bit about that because I feel a lot of people want to know like my favorite movies, and I feel like I have pretty basic taste, honestly, as far as my favorites.
No, she doesn't. It's all sad stuff, okay?
If
you want to be sad and cry and
they're not all sad movies.
Yeah, name one really happy movie.
Okay, hold on. I don't know. I don't feel like movies are happy.
Yeah, they are. Most of them end with happy endings.
Oh, I hate happy endings.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, but like obviously my favorite movie of all time is The Godfather. And when people ask me Godfather 1, Godfather 2, come at me, fight me, I don't care. I consider them one. I consider them like one. So like part 1 and part 2 are my number one favorite movie. Okay. And for so many reasons. Like, I feel like it's the perfect movie. I feel that it really introduced us to this new, like, longer storytelling, right? Because it's a very long movie.
Yes.
It introduced us to a bunch of actors that are still relevant. I mean, not introduced, but put them in the spotlight because they had already done stuff. And, like, they're still relevant today, you know? And the storyline is so much more than crime. It is about, and it was more in the 70s when they came out. It was more prevalent then, but it was about the immigration story, like making it big in the United States. And you come with like cents in your pocket and you make a whole like legacy for your family. Like it's an amazing movie, and I think that there's so much nuance in there. You have love, you have betrayal, you have family dynamics between brothers and sisters, you have the head of a family, you have like how you deal with business.
Yes.
You know, like and you have like Francis Ford Coppola like doing amazing directing. The lighting was perfect. Everything. I think it's the perfect movie.
Yeah, has violence in it.
It has violence, which is always good.
Which is good. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a really great movie. It's a story. I have a question though. Like, so do you consider the trilogies or all trilogies like that one movie, or just The Godfather one movie?
Just The Godfather. I feel like a lot of movies are too different.
Okay.
Like what's another trilogy that's like popular?
Or like, let's say for the Avengers, the Endgame and Infinity Wars. Is that one movie?
No, that would be two movies.
Really? That's so interesting.
Like Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
No, they're two different. I think that even though it's the same director, same screenplay and everything, I think that there's a definite like, this is one part, break, this is another part.
And Godfather doesn't have
No,
that.
I feel like it's just seamless. Like you could watch and I have. I think, and I've done that also with Endgame and Infinity War, or Infinity War and Endgame, where I try to watch the whole thing, and you can tell the separation. But with The Godfather, we watch the whole thing through, and it's seamless, beautiful, magic.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing? Are we going for? Is this the right word? The right saying? Tit for tat? Is that you go?
Yes,
You say one.
yeah.
I say one. You say one.
Yeah,
I
you
say one.
say one. You say one.
Well, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna even top Godfather, because I think a lot of people, that's in people's like sleeve, you know, like as greatest movie ever. But you know, I'm more of a simple man. So I mean, my favorite movie ever is, I mean, it's really dumb, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, but like Top Gun.
Okay.
Like Top Gun,
you
you know what I
have
mean.
said that
I've said this before. It's Top Gun.
Tell me what it is about Top Gun that you love.
Well, I don't know. Like, it's just a bunch of cool guys. They had volleyball in there too, and volleyball was like my favorite sport.
Okay. How old were you the first time you watched it?
Oof, fuck. I don't know. Maybe 10,
Okay.
12 years old, maybe.
So formative years.
Yeah. So when I saw that movie, I wanted to be a jet pilot, you know, and shit like
Okay.
that. And it was just so fucking cool, you know what I mean? It was awesome. And I think I don't know if you guys remember, but when that movie came out, the Navy had the highest attendance of recruitment.
Oh, really?
In that year. When that movie came out. And if I was of age, I probably would have been like, I'm going to be a fucking pilot. I'm going to join Navy, you know, and I probably would have done it if I was old enough.
Even though like I would consider it a silly option, at the same time, it brought you a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
a lot of other people. So.
Yeah, so I think that's my favorite movie.
There's
I don't know
gonna
why.
be a new
so,
one.
yeah,
It's coming out,
I
you
know,
know?
I can't wait. But it was supposed to come out 2 years ago, but because of the pandemic and the whole movie things.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for movies to be rolling out
Yeah,
consecutively.
so like I can't wait. So I can't wait for that. So
okay.
but yeah, that's one.
I'm gonna say that's an okay movie. I wouldn't pick it. I don't know. There were so many good movies in the '80s. Top Gun for me is not one of those.
No, yeah, I don't think it's not like, oh, this is the greatest color. This is the greatest filming. Like this is the greatest.
This is just your
panning,
favorite.
you
Well,
know?
because I have a silly number 2, but at the same time, like it was my formative years. I was like 4 the first time I watched this, and I've watched it since then probably like a billion times, and it's silly. Like silly movies have their.
Are you calling my favorite movie silly?
No, it is kind of silly. I feel like they have their time. Like, so my second favorite movie, because this is like non-negotiable, it's The Lost Boys.
Okay, yeah, I see that. You know, is this the right like terminology? Is a cult classic?
Yes, it's a
Is that what
cult
it's like?
classic.
Like,
yes.
I think. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
and I don't know, like it was very inappropriate of me to watch when I was 4. But like we had the VHS, and I would put it on all the time. Like and I'm not even kidding. I have watched this movie at least probably like 1,000 times. I love it so much. Everything about it, like I like the vampires, you know. I love that there's like Doors music playing in the background. I think that's the first time I ever heard the Doors.
Ooh.
And I think that like, you know, you have Jason Patrick, who was attractive, you know, like he was cute. I don't know. I just like the story. Like they have a single mom. Like there was just so much with it. And like the vampires, even though they, for my young self, were probably a little scary, at the same time watching it as an adult, and you see this movie and you're like, these are not scary at all. I think that that's what made it like what's the word? Digestible to me, you know? So I love The Last Boy. So I feel like that's what I'm telling you. Like there's so many movies in the 80s that I feel like were so good. And like Top Gun is one of those. I wouldn't choose Top Gun because to me that's like so pretty.
Right.
I feel like I like The Lost Boys because it's more grimy.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I like it.
Awesome. So, what other movies would you say influenced the character of, or the persona of Susie, or the person that Susie is?
Ooh, these are such good questions today, George. You're becoming like a good journalist. Okay, good. So I've talked about The Godfather, super important as far as who I am as a person. I am so totally The Lost Boys, the occult stuff, like the murder stuff, like that's like also part of me. I like I'm gonna say like classic, and I think a lot of people don't. Well, a lot of people like this movie, but there's also a lot of people that don't. Forrest Gump.
Okay, yes, I like Forrest Gump.
I think Forrest Gump is so awesome, and it's about what a person can do when they have no clue that they have challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's always so inspiring to see someone be such a good person because I can't say that I am. You know what I mean? Like someone like just like doing good all the time.
Yeah.
And I find that inspiring.
You know what I love about Forrest Gump? I love Forrest Gump. What I learned from Forrest Gump is dude, I had a girlfriend like Jenny.
Oh,
like
really?
that, like bad like that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I was like, oh my God. And it just teaches you like Jesus. Like, and she was such a, I don't even want to say it a B, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
see, to me, like, I know I'm not a good person because I'm still mad at Jenny. I feel like she just used him.
yeah, I'm mad at Jenny too.
Yeah.
I hate Jenny.
To me, it's like she just used them. And then when she was finally ready, she was like, all right, we have this kid that's already 5.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Basically, she knew she was dying. And she was
Right.
like, all right, let's be a family now.
Wait, and let me get this straight. She reached out to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I was wondering if like they kind of just found each other, like.
No, like the whole bus stop stuff is him because he got a letter.
Right.
And him
right,
telling
okay.
everybody his story.
Yeah.
Is because he's waiting for the bus to go see her because she wrote him a letter.
Yeah, that's such a good movie, man. It
is a good movie.
I
don't know. I cannot stand Jenny, and so that's how I know I still need work to
Well,
do.
yeah, I can't stand Jenny either. Like,
I have
why
compassion
would that
for her, but like see the thing is like I understand she had all this trauma, but at the same time like she inflicted so much trauma back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not okay with that. Like, I'm not okay with that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good movie.
Okay, so now my turn. So wait, before we get into my turn, I have a question. So when you have a favorite movie, do you like? Are you one of those people? Like, for instance, like if I told somebody like if I met another Top Gun like enthusiast. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you the shoes that Tom Cruise wore. You know what I mean? Like, do you get really deep down into like Godfather, like trivia stuff and like
I've
stuff like that?
I've actually won a Godfather trivia.
Oh wow, that's awesome!
$3,000.
Holy shit, dude! That's a good.
That was good. I was so confident too. I was like, no one's beating me on this at all. No one's winning this. I know because I am. I like know what they say. Like that's what the trivia was about. Like correct the lines,
right?
And
okay.
Like what actor was chosen over what actor? Like I
right.
know that stuff about The Godfather. Not every movie, but The Godfather
right,
I
okay.
do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, because there's those people that like, okay, these are my top 5 favorite movies, and they could literally break it down like crazy. I'm not like that. I'm like, you know what, this is my favorite movie. So like for instance, like my next movie, that's why I wanted to ask because you can go in so many directions and theories and stuff like that. So damn it, I just forgot the name of it. What's the name with it's not Interstellar, it's the other one. The one with the Leonardo DiCaprio.
I know what you're talking about.
The one
it's like Insurgent, something like that, right?
Inception.
There we go.
So Inception's my next favorite movie. That's one of my very favorite movies. I love
that,
it.
Like to me, that blows me that you like that type of
really?
movie. Yeah,
like
I don't know why.
Like blows your mind? Like why?
Yes, it does.
Like what?
I don't know because I feel like it's so science.
I like science, like Aliens.
Yeah.
I
cannot stand those movies.
Like Aliens. I love like.
To me, like
when Prometheus is dope.
So like when I see Sigourney Weaver on TV, for example, I don't even want to watch whatever she's on because I associate her with aliens and I hate it.
Oh, really? That's so interesting.
Yeah,
well, I mean, well, that's her role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like her iconic
that's
role.
her. Yeah, that's the.
So
thing.
I know she did a good job, but see, that's how you know it's a good movie because I'm like, oh, I don't even want to see her in anything else. I cannot stand like aliens.
Yeah.
Ew, I can't. It bothers me.
Hilarious. You see what I'm talking about? The way her face is like you like something like no. But anyways, but yeah. So like I love Inception. I feel like there's.
I watched the movie at the theaters.
The
it's pretty
plane of it, like just like thinking of it and just kind of like thinking about that kind of stuff. It's really, really, really dope. And I just feel like, it's just messes with your mind. Like I feel like movies that make you like really think like what the fuck, like reality and kind of things like that, and like how they do things like that. And if you think about it like in the outside scope, it's really how anything controls you. Your mind, how your mind gets controlled by anything. It doesn't have it's they're like in the movie they're playing how like I go to sleep and I go into your mind, right?
Yeah.
But like it could just be like I'm watching TV. Like in the real life, I'm watching TV. They plant a seed in my mind, and boom, that's it. That seed becomes something else. And it's just like it's that easy to be able to insert a seed or an idea to control you or for you to to feel away, think away, act away. So that's why I love it.
I think that for me, I don't like those types of. I like them. Like I saw that movie at the theaters, and I saw like Ex Machina in the theaters, and I've obviously watched the Alien movies. I think that I don't like them because I feel like I have enough with my own thoughts that like you're implanting some other thought in me. I think that's why it bothers me. It's like, oh, like now I have all this other stuff to think about, Like I think that's what the issue is. Like, did you ever watch The Cell with like Jennifer Lopez?
Yes, The Cell's fucking awesome.
No,
dude.
it's not. I
yes,
saw
it
that,
is.
and I was just like,
I'm surprised you don't like it because it has to deal with like the murderer.
yeah.
And going into a murderer's mind.
I feel like
and like different.
I feel it's like I have to think about this now too. I have to be in his reality,
Yeah.
instead of my own.
Yeah.
No, it's like
That's
too
hilarious.
much. It's too much. My reality is way worse than his. Okay,
That's
like,
hilarious. That's awesome.
yeah, but so it's something very. We brought this up at class the other day. The movie Sleepers. I don't know if you paid attention.
I remember that, but I've never seen the movie.
But like Kiefer Sutherland from The Last Boys is in it. Julia Roberts, like a bunch of other people that were like famous at the time. But it's not about like aliens or anything like that. But it's about these doctors that are trying to test some stuff and seeing if they can like put themselves under enough where they're dead, and be dead enough to where you like go, like where do you go when you die type of thing.
Oh shit, that sounds actually really cool.
Yeah, it is a really good movie, honestly. And then like they revive them, like they're like keeping track of all their vitals and all this stuff, blah blah blah. The issue is that they all go to a past where they had some sort of trauma.
Okay.
And that trauma like follows them to their actual waking life. Like, so like, let's say for example, Julia Roberts' dad was like abusive, So she like relived that, and it was like, oh my God, like terrible. But then like she would see her dad everywhere, like in her normal life. And so I feel like to me, it's like, I like Sleepers because it's about like trauma, but at the same time, like in The Cell, she's living his trauma.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's not living her own trauma. She's living his trauma.
Okay.
And like, I get it. She's a psychologist or whatever, but I'm just like, oh my God, no, I can't. Now on to what I would like next. It'd be like, have you ever watched The Last of the Mohicans?
I have, yes.
Okay, to me, I find it so important for these types of movies because it shows us a little bit about like history and Native American history, and it's not so much about like British and colonial history. It's about like how were all these treaties and wars affecting Native people. And so I really love it, and I feel that Daniel Day-Lewis is like probably the best actor of our time, to be honest. He does such a good job in everything he has
Remind
done.
me of who that guy is.
So
What
Daniel
else is
Day-Lewis
it?
was obviously the lead actor in
Oh,
that,
wait,
but he's also the guy in Gangs of New York.
Okay. I think I
That's
know the guy with the
Leonardo-
mustache.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
he
I
had
wanna
the
make
same
sure.
mustache in There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you ever saw that, but you should. Yeah, he's only done like 7 movies or something like that, or 10, but all of them have been nominated for an Academy Award.
Wait, is he the one from that? He's not Bonnie and Clyde, is he? No, that's okay.
No, he's so awesome. He was in My Left Foot. He's the guy in The Crucible. Like, he's just like everything he's touched is amazing. And yeah, so I feel like the combination of all that stuff, to me, it's super important. Dances with Wolves, like you could compare it to that. I'm gonna say no because it focused too much on Kevin Costner than the Native people, and I feel like I like that this one was more like the Native people and how they were supposed to handle all this stuff, and how the Native people were like being used by the French and the British and all. Like, it's just so interesting. I actually had to watch that movie for like my U.S. history class. I'm gonna make a list as we get closer to Thanksgiving on movies that the gym should watch.
Okay.
So you can learn more about like actual history and not what they teach you in school.
Cool. That sounds interesting. So I like what we're doing. Like, I'm saying something, you're kind of relating to it a little bit. So the only thing I can think about that's kind of like that I have watched, I think it would be like Apocalypto.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
like,
So I don't dislike Apocalypto, but
Right.
it's not, to me, I don't consider it one of the great movies because I feel that they did not do a good job of giving the credit to the Mayan people.
Okay.
Because like while there's a lot of good actors in there and everything, I feel that they treated it like, oh my God, like we're Mayans, we're just savages that are trying to like do these sacrifices, and like we don't know like what we're doing. Like you saw that they were doing it for like the gods, but at the same time, it acted like they didn't know, like, oh, there's going to be an eclipse. Like, they were so surprised by the eclipse when literally they had been studying like the moon and the stars and the sun for like hundreds of years at that point.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm like, oh, come on. They knew more than that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like they were just killing and killing and killing people. Like, they had like specific boundaries to all that stuff. So to me, I feel like it's a little historically incorrect, and that's why it's not one of my favorites. But at the same time, like, it's so awesome, like when she gives birth in that cave and she's like basically the baby's underwater.
Right.
That guy's just Littlefoot's trying to make it back home, and that guy is chasing him. Oh yeah. And that guy ends up being a Narcos too, the guy that's chasing him.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's not one of my favorite movies. I just feel like that's something that I can think of that represents like The Last of Mohicans, right? Like kind of like in that aspect realm. But yeah, so I mean, you know, it's so funny. Like, I can't really think about like too many movies. Like, if I would like to look at like movies, like I can only think of like sci-fi movies. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. Like I like The Matrix a lot.
The Matrix is good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it resonates with me still.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. Like, I like the like just kind of like we're in a matrix, you know, and it makes you think on that. And but yeah, I can't really.
What about like love stories? Do you love like any love movie?
Oh, 500 Days of Summer. 500 Days of Summer.
So you like that movie?
I do like that movie.
Presley hated it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because you know what? I think it's because it's one of those things like with where you're at in your life also. And I feel like
100%.
Like,
because when I first saw it, I was like, "This is the worst."
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad, but obviously I like sad movies, right? But I feel like now when you see it, it's like he totally made that whole thing up in his brain, and we've all done that.
Yeah,
you know, we've all done that. We've all given someone way too much credit. Like, oh no, they do like me. We're meant to be.
Yeah.
You know, you read all the signs wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it, because it's like, no, like I've definitely grown from that phase, you know?
Yeah, so that's one movie that I really, really like. I really like 500 Days of Summer. And the thing I like about it, too, is just that it's realistic.
But it doesn't end with a happy thing.
It doesn't end with a happy ending. But, like, what I'm saying is that, like, that's life. Mm-hmm. That's how that happens. You know what I mean? Like, and I just feel like that's, like, sometimes you don't get the girl you fucking think you're supposed to end up with. And, you know... And I think,
and I loved how it shows like the accuracy of him being like depressed from that.
Yeah.
Like day whatever 200 and whatever, and he's like depressed. He can't even make it to work. He's like a mess at work.
Exactly. Because that's I think they depicted that correctly. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like.
I love how Presley right now is at the stage where he's like, no, it's her fault. She was wrong. It's like, no, she was honest from the very beginning. I don't want a relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think that's that 500 Days of Summer was cool too, but
and romantic? I like how it's shot, especially like at the end where it's like his expectations and reality. He thinks they're gonna be like, ha ha ha.
Like, I thought that was so cool. Like, just the way it's seen that, like, you're watching two different movies at that time, and so and the thing is that, like, it's just you just relate to it so much. Yeah. And I think that's something like that. So.
Oh my God, I feel like we're playing chess. I'm gonna up you on this sad love story. So,
let's see if I know.
So I don't know if you probably haven't seen it. It's called Resurrection Road.
I haven't. No.
Oh no, it's called Revolutionary Road with Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
And I love them together. I think they belong together. But that's me being 500 Days of Summer. But I read this book, and I was so excited when they were going to make it into a movie. It's a book from the 60s, and it's basically this young couple meets, they fall in love, you know, that whole story. And the main thing is that they're saying all the stuff that most people say. So that's why it's so relatable when they're like, oh, we're not going to be like our parents.
Right.
Oh, no, like, we're not going to be one of those people with a townhome and like 2-car garage. Like, that's what they're saying to themselves. And I'm like, I find it fascinating because this book was actually written in the 60s, you know? And like, no, we're always going to live in the city, and we're going to travel, and we're going to do all this stuff. Like, stuff that you say when you're like 18 and 22, and, you know, like stuff that you imagine, like how your life's going to be, you know? Yeah. And they get married because she gets pregnant.
Okay.
And they have to leave the city. He gets one of those jobs that's super reliable.
Oh, damn.
He has to make the commute because they move out of the city. He has to make the commute by train every day. And she is hating life. And they have another kid, and she's like absolutely hating her life. He hates it too. He does the most obvious thing. He starts cheating on her with his secretary.
Dude, this sounds so familiar.
And it's just like, I love it because it's like, yeah, like they were all so naive. And then at some point they decide like, oh, remember how we said we were going to live in Paris? Let's go. And they start telling their neighbors like, we're going to go. We're going to take the kids. And this brings up a lot of hard feelings for the neighbors because they're like, oh, like they're so dumb. And they feel bad about their lives that they're not doing anything adventurous that way or that they've settled. Right. It doesn't end happy at all. I won't spoil it. It's terrible. It's a terribly sad movie.
Wait, I mean,
you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know. I'm not the type when it comes to movies like that. I'm not the type because I feel like you telling me does not interrupt me visually of what's happening.
I agree.
So
I don't mind spoilers.
Yeah, I don't mind spoilers.
But I know a lot of people do. Okay, so eventually she finds like he doesn't want to go. He's honest with himself and he realizes he likes his ultra predictable life. He doesn't want to try new things in Paris like this. He's okay with the life that he has. And she's like disgusted by him.
Oh, damn.
She's like basically feels like he's a sellout because that's not what they had talked about. And she ends up getting pregnant again. And she like does not want to have another baby. And basically he's like, no, well, now you're pregnant again. We have to stay, you know. And like she's just fighting it. Eventually he confesses like, I've been cheating on you. And she's basically like, okay, like, am I supposed to care? And she's like, I've just realized I don't love you. Like, I do not love you at all. Like, and they obviously leading up to this, they've been like at each other's throats fighting. Damn. You know, and she has a little fling too with like the neighbor, etc. But she basically decides she does not want this life. That this life's not for her. She does an in-home abortion, and she dies. She waits till like the very end to call for help because she does not want to be alive. Huh. So it ends super tragic.
Why do I feel like I've seen this movie?
I'm sorry, it was so sad. But I mean, Kate Winslet is such a freaking good actress.
They're both good actors.
Leonardo DiCaprio's good, but I feel like when he works with Kate, like he goes up another level. Okay. I feel like when he works with really good actors, he goes up. Okay. You know, like he levels up, and it's such a great movie. Again, love story because at first they were in love, but yeah, they were naive. You know.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, I would say that's probably like one of my top 10 movies for sure.
How about happy romantic movies?
Happy romantic. I do have those. I just can't think of any right now. Like where I'm like, oh my god, they ended up together. I'm so happy.
Well, mine, I would say, I don't even know the name of it. But do you remember Ryan Gosling and the guy from The Office, Michael Scott? What's his name?
What is? Oh, I don't remember what that.
Steve Carell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it like it's not Eat, Pray, Love, right? Or something like Love.
Love Actually? No, it's not a Love Actually.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. The one where he looks at the shoes.
That's a pretty good love story.
I like that one because they get a kind of like a divorce, and like he starts getting all like Steve Carell. Steve Carell starts getting all like like he could get any girl now. You know what I mean? But then like he figures out. So that's my like happy.
Oh, romantic. I have one.
Okay, here we go. A happy one, guys.
I'm surprised. It's called Definitely Maybe.
Definitely Maybe.
It's with Ryan Reynolds. It's with Ryan Reynolds and then the girl that is actually married to Borat in real life. Okay. I don't remember her name, but everyone confuses her with the other redhead, which I don't like the other redhead. I like her. But anyways, and it's basically, I like it because it follows them throughout years and they're friends. And Ryan Reynolds, it goes through like, actually he's explaining to his daughter, like this, because he's getting a divorce. So he's explaining to his daughter, like how, like basically his life, like how he ended up with the mom and how that didn't work out and who he dated in between and all that stuff. So it's really nice. I love it. It goes through his dating history. It goes through like the early 90s into like present time. And you see how like all along this girl was meant to be it. And he wasn't seeing it because he was busy with this girl, and then he was heartbroken over this girl, and now that he started dating that girl, and it's really interesting because I feel like that does happen. Like you can miss out on those signals, and now he is in his 30s with like a 10-year-old kid and divorce, and they find each other again.
Oh wow!
It's a happy movie. I'm surprised at myself. Not top 10 though. Not top 10. Mm-mm. Well, that's a good movie.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we hit romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you could think? Any
Let's
category?
do horror.
Horror movie?
Yes. Do you have like a favorite horror movie? And also like it could be like anything, like thriller, horror, like ghosts.
Yeah, I like my favorite is Insidious.
Ooh.
So I like Insidious because I like they're the only ones that I kind of like. They and I think this has to deal with like the reason, like their mind, you know, like they go into different realms, and it's cool how like in each movie they bring each realm into each other, and that's why I really like it, and how they all correlate together. Maybe that's, and I hate horror movies. Like I'm just not a big horror movie at all. Like I don't really like my brother.
You don't like being scared.
I don't like being scared at all. Like why would I be paid for that? You know what I mean? Why would I pay for that? Why would I watch something like that to be
like
scared?
being scared either.
Nightmares and stuff like that. But when I was little, my brother would tie me to a chair and make me watch it. So like I hate it. So like he would put my mom's belts around
siblings
us.
did that too. Except they would like put me in the closet as the movie was on.
Oh wow, no! My brother would sit me down on a kitchen chair. He would put belts around us, and he would on channel 50 all the time. They would play it.
Yeah, they did.
And they would play it, and he
also,
would make me watch it.
Also, it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, so it was terrible. So
that's so mean. Yeah, that's abuse.
Yes, yeah, but that's what other siblings are for, right? Yeah, so that's my favorite horror movie, Insidious, just for on that fact. So
okay, I'm gonna go with old school because I'm still scared of it. Like if it comes on, I would be like for the next couple of days, like you know. Friday the 13th. I'm scared of Freddy Krueger.
Really?
Yo. Yes, I am scared of Freddy Krueger.
I feel like they're so cheesy though. That's why.
No, like he's coming to you in your dreams.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Friday the 13th is not.
Oh no, it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
I was about to say. Wait a minute.
But Nightmare on like Friday the 13th is pretty cheesy. But that is scary. That's why I don't go to the woods. But anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger coming to you in your dreams.
Yeah, he did have the coolest like. In the dreams, and you know what I mean, like that's the way he would come out, and that's how he got his power.
And he comes with a backstory, you know, like he was burned.
Yeah, for like for the kids and stuff like that. Yeah, that was creepy as fuck.
And yeah, I can't like that. I would be too scared.
No, yeah, I'm deadly scared of.
But I'm very scared of clowns too.
Like so I hate clowns.
Did you watch the new It?
Yeah, I watched the new It.
Me too. So I feel like the new It's better than the old It.
Story wise and shot wise, yes. So,
but I am very scared of clowns. And also another good movie, and it's also from the 80s that, yeah, I'm scared. I would still be scared of today. Would be Poltergeist.
Yes, Poltergeist was creepy.
But like, do you remember the clown part?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So to me, like, I can't do anything with clowns. No, at all.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I was okay, but when I remember one time I went to what's the Ringley Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were having a little panic attack.
Yeah, dude. And they would go up and down this where like the arena, and I remember one time he came really close, and I was like, holy shit,
I can see you from far away now that I'm an adult, but like, don't come near me. I am not okay with you coming near me in my space. I'm afraid.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, so cool, awesome. Any other thing?
I would say no. I'd say that's pretty much it. Oh well, let's just go really quick with like an action movie because I already have one. Like old school, like Steven Seagal or like that era of action.
Like that era of action?
Yes.
Well, my favorite one would be Speed. Remember Speed?
Yes,
with Keanu Reeves?
That was a good movie.
With Sandra Bullock.
And they were like fighting the clock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it was on
I like
the bus.
that one. Like that's the only one I could think of. Like other than that, or Bad Boys, I guess. Bad Boys.
Is good too. I'm gonna go with Speed. Is your better choice. I'm gonna go with True Lies. Remember that was Arnold Schwarzenegger and then Jamie Lee Curtis
with the airplane, and they were like,
because it was funny too.
Yeah.
But like he was still like kicking butt, and she becomes a spy too. Oh my god, it was so funny. I like True Lies a lot. I'll watch that movie if it comes on.
That's a good movie. Yeah, I love. Yeah.
I feel like that's a movie I've watched a lot of times as a kid.
Sweet. So you know what, guys? The crazy thing is, this was supposed to be movies, books, and all this kind of things.
We'll have to do another one for books.
You have to do another books. Mine will be very, very short because I really didn't read too many books when I was younger. But
but you read a lot now.
I do read a lot now. Yes, I do read a lot more now. But
I would say I read a lot less now.
Really interesting. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like you found it early, so you're like, whatever. But like me, I found it late now, so I'm reading.
I just feel like I need to make it back into a priority. But you know what it is that I feel like a pressure to read books that are like self-help or self-improvement. And I'm still a fan of fiction.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to me, like, I can read those books, but at the same time, I'm still a fan of reading fiction. And then I feel like, I don't know, like I'm judging myself type of thing.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it is very judgy because then you start to look at yourself. So, but that'll be saved for the next podcast.
Yes,
Well, not the
yes.
next podcast because the next podcast we have a pretty cool guest.
Yes.
Interesting guest.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
It's going to be Ruby.
Yeah, it's going to be Ruby. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. That should be funny. So, but yeah, guys, thank you for paying attention, listening to us. Follow us on everything: Spotify, iTunes, podcast, blah blah blah, wherever we're at, YouTube. So send in those questions too, guys.
Yes,
so
questions.
please help us out and peace.
Bye.